सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning. నేర్చుకుంటున్నారా ఇంగ్లీషు? యూ హ్యాపీ? నేను చెప్పింది చేస్తున్నారా? పుస్తకాలతో ప్రేమలో పడ్డారా లేదా? రీడింగ్. You must love reading. This is the age. Afterwards, you will never get time. Investment in knowledge is the best investment. It is the best hobby that you can ever cultivate. You know, book reading, if that becomes hobby, you will grow intellectually. You will have the opportunity to build your personality. You have to intellectually evolve. That for only human being, actually, that is possible. Only we human beings can cultivate buddhi. We can sharpen our intellect. We can sharpen it and sharpen. Sharpest of the intellect and the kindest of the heart. That should be the goal. Very sensitive, very tender and kind heart, and the sharpest of the intellect. Then you have the personality. You have built up your personality. But today some of the people have the sharpest of the intellect, but heart is very narrow. No kindness there, no compassion there. Your intelligence will work against you. It's like a small child having a sharp knife in its hands. What it does, the baby, tiny tot, when a tiny tot hand you put a sharp knife, what it does? Because the hand is unsteady. it will poke itself. The same way, you need to have the sharpest of the intellect and the kindest of the heart. Both should go in tandem. Rendu parallel ga ellali. Okay, now please see page number 105 for today's quote. I can speak for another 10-15 minutes on this itself, but today's my topic is the East and the West. Afterwards, our Arun will ask, Swamiji, you have given the title the East and the West, you spoke something else. India has to learn from Europe, page number 105, the conquest of external nature, and Europe has to learn from India the conquest of internal nature. Then there will be neither Hindus nor Europeans. There will be the ideal humanity which has conquered both the natures, the external and the internal. We have developed one phase of humanity, and they another. It is the union of the two that is wanted. So Swamiji was talking about the ideal humanity, a humanity that has conquered both the external and the internal nature. What is the conquest of the external nature? You just see the kind of comforts and conveniences that we have as a modern generation, 21st century. Unbelievable, right? 50 years back, 100 years back, they could not even imagine that much of technological development has happened. But in spite of all the progress that we have achieved in science and technology, we have not grown in terms of peace and happiness, right? Never before, actually, people who are complaining that's stress and anxiety. Never before people suffered this much of stress and anxiety as the modern generation, 21st generation suffers. Why this has happened? So in our zeal to conquer the external nature, we have forgotten the inner nature. The subjective sciences they are called, spiritual sciences they are called. Today America is the most affluent society in the world. The kind of 75% of the population is on anti-psychedelic drugs. You all hear in newspapers that every second day one shooting incident happens. Okay? That means people have no control over their thought, basically. There is so much of substance abuse is there, there is addictions are there. All this is happening because you are not happy with your thoughts and emotions. If you are joyful from within, if you are happy with your thoughts and emotions, do you need all these compulsive things? Everything is doing, desperately seeking for a drop of happiness. The thing is, everybody is seeking love, but you have forgotten actually to cultivate love. There is so much of love in all of us, but we never bother to explore the dimension. Why people like Vivekananda and Buddha, they become so great? Because they had grown in heart to such an extent they could embrace the whole mankind, one family. వాళ్ళ హృదయంలో ఎంత ప్రేమ పుట్టిందంటే ఆ ప్రేమతో వాళ్ళు ప్రపంచాన్ని జయించగలిగారు. So today you are not exploring that dimension, you are not exploring that. So what is happening with the modern man is you get so preoccupied with the machines that your heart becomes barren over a period of time if you don't nurture it and cultivate it. ఆ హృదయంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ ప్రేమ బిందువుని మనం విస్తరింపజేసుకోకపోతే సింధువులాగా ఆ ఉన్నది కాస్త ఆవిరైపోతుంది. అది ఆవిరైపోతే హృదయంలో ప్రేమ లేదనుకోండి, ఇంకా నెగిటివ్ థాటే వస్తుంది. అండ్ ఎవ్రీబడి ఈస్ డెస్పరేట్లీ సీకింగ్ ఫర్ ఎ డ్రాప్ ఆఫ్ లవ్. వెరాజ్ యూ హ్యావ్ దట్ ఇన్ యూ ఇన్ సచ్ అబండెంట్ మెజర్ దట్ బిఫోర్ దట్ కెపాసిటీ ఆఫ్ యువర్ లవ్ హోల్ వరల్డ్ విల్ బికమ్ టూ స్మాల్ ఫర్ యూ. ప్రపంచం ఒక చిన్న కుటుంబం అయిపోతుంది మన ప్రేమ కనుక కరెక్ట్గా అంత విస్తరించగలిగితే. Holy Mother Sarada Devi was like that, and today we have Mata Amrita Annamai like that. So the Western societies, they are very affluent, they have conquered the external nature, but they have forgotten the internal nature. And that's the reason, though there is affluence, though there is wealth, the per capita, in terms of per capita income, talasari adayam, మనకన్నా చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నప్పటికీ కూడా అక్కడ అంత సంతోషం లేదు. మీ అందరికీ తెలిసినటువంటి విషయం, నాకన్నా మీకే బాగా తెలిసే విషయం. But whereas in the East, actually, we have been focusing on the subjective side, conquering the inner nature. Spirituality, we call it, kind of controlling of the mind, meditation. They are all the words from the East. The Eastern societies have focused so much on the subjective side, conquering of the inner nature. అందుకని ఇక్కడ మన సంస్కృతిలో చెప్తాం, నేను ప్రపంచాన్ని జయించావంటే సరే ఏం జయించావు, నిన్ను నువ్వు జయించు ముందు అంటాం. We say that this use language, right? This language they don't use in the West. And there they say that be practical, be practical. What is your idea of practicality? You work 16 hours, 18 hours a day like a machine and make money and then enjoy life. But you have money now, but you are not able to enjoy because you have become a slave of your own thoughts and emotions. You have absolutely no control over your inner nature. నీ ప్రవృత్తి ఏదైతే ఉందో నువ్వు దాన్ని జయించకుండా, దాన్ని మాస్టర్ చేయకుండా, నువ్వు బాహ్య ప్రకృతిని నువ్వు ఎంత జయించినా కూడా నువ్వు ఏదైతే ఆనందాన్ని ఆశిస్తున్నావో ఆనందం నీకు రాదు. We have been telling this for ages, for millennia, and so we are asking people actually to focus on the subjective side, conquering the inner dimension. That's why, in America today, meditation, Zen meditation, Buddhist meditations, okay, and also this Vedanta, yoga, Ayurveda, there is so much of actual demand for it. And Indian spiritual gurus are actually like, celebrities there, most of them. So because why the craving has, now they have understood that it is not the money, it is not the machines that make man happy. You need something else. You need to master your inner nature. Yoga. వాళ్ళు అక్కడ నుంచి వస్తుంది ఇప్పుడు మనకి యోగా కూడా. వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి మనం చేస్తున్నాం. ఎక్కడ పుట్టింది ఇది? మనం ఇప్పుడు మర్చిపోయినాం. వాళ్ళకి అవసరమే వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి మనం చేస్తున్నాం. So this is actually, the Eastern societies have always focused on the subjective side, inner dimensions of human beings, and whereas the Western societies actually they focused on conquering the external nature, creation of machines, technology, basically akkada nunchi vachindi kada. They were pioneers at least. So Swamiji wanted that there should be an ideal humanity which has conquered both the external and internal natures. So మనకి ఇన్ని మెషిన్స్ వచ్చినా, ఇంత టెక్నాలజీ వచ్చినా ఎందుకు ఆనందంగా ఉండలేకపోతున్నాం అంటే ఈ అంతర్గత ప్రపంచాన్ని మర్చిపోయాం, ఇన్నర్ వరల్డ్. అసలు మనిషి అంటే ఏంటి? That's why we talk about actually conquering the inner nature here, control the mind, Shama, Dhamma, Yoga. They are all the prakriyas, they are all the methods and the techniques which help us to gain some reasonable control over our inner nature. They are called subjective sciences. సో ఈ రెండు సైన్స్, మెటీరియల్ సైన్స్, ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ సైన్స్ అండ్ ఆల్సో సబ్జెక్టివ్ సైన్స్, రెండు సైన్సెస్ ఉంటే ఒక ఐడియల్ హ్యూమానిటీ తయారవుతుంది. మనకున్నటువంటి వస్తు సముదాయాన్ని మనం బాగా ఎంజాయ్ చేయాలంటే ముందు లోపల నుంచి మనం ఆనందంగా ఉండాలి. లోపల నుంచి ఆనందంగా లేవు, నువ్వు ఏసీ కార్లో పోతున్నావు కానీ నీకు అంతే చెమటలు, లోపల యాంగ్జైటీ ఉంది, చెమటలు పడుతున్నాయి. దట్స్ ఆల్ ద కండిషన్. People are going in AC cars, but they are perspiring because there is so much of stress and anxiety. So both actually have to have, because you have to have the, control over the inner nature and also the external nature we have anyway conquered. In my opinion, we have had enough of science and technology. Now it is time we focus more on the subjective side, the inner side, okay? The spiritual side of our life. So that knowledge and that wisdom, we have it, and we need to give that to the rest of the world. And Swamiji, that's why says Vivekananda, up and conquer the world with your spirituality. ఓ భారతీయుడా మేలుకో, నీ ఆధ్యాత్మిక జ్ఞానంతో ప్రపంచాన్ని జయించన్నాడు. మనం మన జ్ఞానాన్ని మనమే మర్చిపోయాం అనుకోండి. మన స్కూల్స్లో ఎక్కడ కాలేజీలో చెప్పట్లేదు ఇప్పుడు. సో అఫ్ కోర్స్ నౌ దేర్ ఇస్ లిటిల్ అవేర్నెస్, నౌ దేర్ ఇస్ లిటిల్ దిస్ quest for truth and also this longing for the spiritual wisdom is happening across India. And of course we need to give it to the rest of the world because it is in the interest of the whole mankind and whole humanity. Thank you. Nice day.